Well, we're talking about added sugars in foods. So what are some of those common drinks that we might be consuming that really aren't that healthy for us?
So sugary drinks are one of the biggest contributors of added sugars in the diet. A lot of them are sweetened with corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, or sugar. Those are considered added sugars, meaning they don't occur naturally in the food. They were added mostly for taste. But it's also in a lot of foods as well. So I'm hoping to give everyone a couple of tips for identifying some of those added sugars in their foods and drinks.
So what are some of those tips?
So the first thing is to look at the ingredient label. I'm not sure if you can zoom in to see this, but ingredients are listed from the by weight, heaviest ingredient, and then to the lightest. So if sugar or fructose or high fructose corn syrup are in the first few ingredients, that means it makes up a pretty good amount of the weight of that product, and it might not be the healthiest choice. So scan the first few, and if you see any of those words, that means that it's pretty high in sugar.
And what do you think, why do you think this is important, especially parents that might be giving some of these drinks to their kids? Why is it important for them to know this information?
So added sugars don't provide any nutritional value. They can be considered empty calories, meaning they just provide extra calories, which may be linked with unwanted weight gain, and that could lead to overweight or obesity, which is one of the risk factors for developing type 2 diabetes. And some new studies are even linking high added sugar intake with heart disease. So for parents and kids out there, trying to start early, preventative measures, not having the sugary drinks around so much to hopefully prevent or lower their risk of developing those types of chronic diseases when they're older.
And what do we have here? We have some sugar to show how much is in these drinks, right?
Yeah, so the sugars are listed as grams on the label, which most of us don't think in grams. So the sugar cubes are as a visual. So a teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams, or sugar cube. So I have some common drinks out here to just visualize how much sugar is actually in them.
So in that drink, we have this much sugar.
So in the Gatorade, and it's important to know because in the Gatorade, on the nutrition facts label, the serving size is 12 ounces, but there's 2.5 servings in this whole bottle. So what the sugars are listed is only for 1 serving. So if you're only going to drink a part of this, so if you're going to drink the whole thing, you have to multiply that number by how many servings are in the container. So altogether, that's about 52.5 sugar cubes worth of added sugar. So, and it's all added sugar. None of that is naturally occurring. And then for the Dr. Pepper, about 16 sugar cubes worth in the Dr. Pepper. And then this fruit drink, it's important to note that it says it's a flavored juice beverage, so it's not 100% fruit juice. So if you look on the ingredients, the second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. So that's added sugar. So there may be some natural sugars in a food as well as added. That's why looking at the ingredients is important to identify those added sugars. So that one is a little over 14 sugar cubes worth. And then we have chocolate milk. So milk has natural sugar in it, but again, on the ingredient list, second ingredient is sugar. So that's the added sugar aspect. So 13 sugar cubes worth of sugar in this. And then we have a mango flavored tea, and here's another one with the servings. There's actually 3 servings in this whole can. So multiplying it, you get.
I think my sister usually drinks one on her own.
Well, and most people, do drink a whole can. So it's important to know that you're getting more than 1 serving. And then finally, we have the yogurt. It's low fat, which often means there can be sugar added to make up for the lack of the fat, because sugar tastes good. So the yogurts are another common source of added sugars, and that's a little over 7 sugar cubes worth of sugar.
So what are some good alternatives, especially for kids? They're going to be out now that it's getting warm. So how do they stay hydrated? But a lot of times they might not want to drink water.
Yeah, the best thing is, of course, water, but some ways to spice it up to make it a little more interesting are adding slices of lemon, lime, cucumber, and being realistic, there's going to be some added sugars in drinks, but just identifying how much. If you're going to have a Gatorade, maybe buy the smaller bottle, and then the rest of the day push water to try to cut down on those added sugars.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing this really valuable information with us.
Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, well, time now for a quick break.